I've been late.
Well, let's get started here. All right. We're actually doing tips on luxury pricing. Okay? Because this can be really tough, especially in our market, because we have so much. If you just look at Brentwood, we have 169 listings. And most of those are in the million plus category. And you got some that are 20 million. And then when we look at some different pricing on this, is you're going to see that the pricing from 3.5 to 4 million, we have almost 6 years of inventory on hand. And we have very, very seldom got anything pending on that, maybe 10% all pending in that price range. But if you go to 3 to 3.5 million, those we got 50% pending and only 11 months supply on hand. So it's really interesting as far as, what you're doing with the pricing and how you bring it up and look at it. So one of the things we want to talk about, the importance of keeping current on the luxury price homes is one, pricing them to a sell. Another one is avoid extended days on the market and comparing new homes to existing homes. One of the things we're seeing, especially with Brandon Jenkins in our area, he does a great job building these new homes like in Keller and stuff, and also at Harlem Point. Those homes right there, I mean, they're $1.5 million homes. Well, comparing those with existing ones like in McGathick Farms and stuff, which is an existing, well-established neighborhood, how are they doing the pricing on those? But if you're not visiting the homes where you can see the differences, it can make a huge difference on it. Also, pricing amenities as far as do they have swimming pools, tennis courts. The one going for 20 million right now in Governor's Club has a bowling alley. It's got a gymnasium, and it has parking for 6 cars. So again, that's 20,000 square feet though too. So it's something that knowing what those amenities are. Also technology. We're seeing more and more technology brought into these homes too. It could be cameras, it could be smart things, it could be hidden rooms, it can also be elevators. I mean, there's all different types of things that we want to make certain. Area preferences. It seems like West Brentwood has always been more preferred over East Brentwood. Because once you get on that I-65, when you're going down Concord Road, people would much rather be over on the west side where the shopping is and it's closer to the interstate and stuff. So they do fun. And the other one is method of payment that your buyers are bringing in and how they're purchasing homes. Some are doing it in different ways as far as, 401ks. It could also be that a group is buying them out. They may be buying it through a trust, could be an LLC, because they want to keep that information private so people don't really know who is purchasing the home, but keeping those also current. Now, some of the tools and strategies and practices is look at the market stats. And there's a program called areapro.com, which is what we use. There's also MLS data that you can bring up. Broker open houses. I recommend this very highly because when you're at the broker open houses, you can start talking to the other brokers about, hey, this is a great home. Tell me where you came up with the pricing on this. Why is that different than maybe another area that's close by or a different subdivision? What does this subdivision have that's different from others? And they're going to be your experts in those areas. Another one is exclusive industry groups. And these right here could actually be people that are part of CLL and NHS, which is the Certified Luxury Marketing Home Specialist Program. Okay, where they've actually gone through training. Now, these groups right here, they deal primarily with luxury. We're also KW Luxury. This is great support and also builds up some great referral networks for you too with inside the Keller waves. And that you go to your Circles website and you can get into that. You have to have 4 properties that are in the $1 million luxury based on the county that you're in, which qualify within a 2-year period. If you have questions about that, get with Melissa and she can tell you what the criteria is for the different counties. Okay. Collaborating with other local luxury agents too. And this is a big one because a lot of times, even though you put it on MLS, their buyers may not be looking at those listings coming through. They're waiting on their agent to say, I've got a property that would be a good fit for you. Because a lot of times pictures just do not tell the picture. You look at some of the ones that got in Brentwood for $5 and $6 million. The pictures just do not do it justice. Right. But by going through it and then getting those referrals through brokers that that have buyers in it, that is gonna make a significant difference for you. Also network with luxury agents around the country, not just here, but because we have so many people moving in from California, Atlanta, Memphis, Illinois, Texas. They can certainly have a group there that we know of. So when they're sending out their buyers, they're sending them to you. And they can also tell you this is what they are spending or selling here, and this is what they're wanting to purchase here. So being aware of that. Then also monitor the stock market and other financial tools. This right here, based on the method of So one of the other things is monitoring the stock market and other financial tools to see if the stock market's going up or down. So that way, you know, is your buyer really looking at buying? And also the people that are gonna be buying that property, if you're the listing agent, how you price that. Because if it was worth $4 million, maybe 4 months ago, and now the stock market's tanked, you're probably not gonna attract as many buyers. So then you have to make a decision. Are we gonna sit on the market longer? Because if other people are decreasing their price of their home, do you want to be with the market? Do you want to follow that market, or do you want to maximize as quick as time? Because you're going to lose opportunity cost in that. Another one is market research and analysis. And this is monitoring sales trends each week within the luxury market area. And that's different. Brentwood is vastly different than Franklin. You just can't take Williamson County as a whole and say this is what it's going to be. Nashville's the same way. If you look at West End has 9 months supply on hand. So if you just looked at Nashville, you'd be saying, wow, that's really slowed down. But if you look at Antioch, it's 2.3. Now that's not a luxury area, but it skews what your overall sales are if you aren't just looking at luxury sales. Right? So make certain that you're looking at the proper price range too. Another one is days on market. This is really important, and sometimes it's masked because people are refreshing the listings. Like after 49 days, there's a couple brokerages that they will take it off and put it on every 49 days. So they never have anything that's on the market 50 days. This is a big one, sold price to list. And this is really hard to figure sometimes. So it's something where if you have software that can do it for you, it's going to make you that much more efficient. So that you have to take a look at, do I have time or money, and how I want to invest in that aspect of it. Also, the number of properties for sale by price range. And this is what I was talking about before. Even though in Williamson County, 1.2 million and up is luxury, well, there's a difference between a $1.5 million property and a $5 million property in Brentwood. And then as far as what's the price range going to be, we've actually seen the ones over 4 million are actually achieving over list price in the last 6 months, which you wouldn't think so, because the 3.5 to 4 million is actually down and not moving at all. Number of properties pending and inventory on hand by price range is also really important. And this is an example of Area Pro that we use. And with this one right here, you can see the months on hand, which is for our Nashville area. You can see the pending, days on market, active. And then you can see over here, this is actually Brentwood, I beg your pardon, because you can see that 3.5 to 4 million. We have 70 months supply on hand between 3.5 and 4 million. Wow. Okay. But you look at 3 to 3.5, we only have 10 months supply, and 4 to 4.5, we have 16 months supply. Then you look at the properties pending ratio, 70% up to 3.5 million, 14% here, and only 13% here. And then you look at percentage of list price, 103, 194%. So the question is for these active listings, 14 and 10, do you want to wait to get 100%? Or do you cut it a little bit, like at your 3.6, and you take it to 3.4 so you can get it moved? Is that worthwhile for you? What are your ultimate goals with it? Do you want to wait 10 months or 70 months? If you wait long enough, it's going to be worthwhile.
Right, exactly, yeah.
So, but again, that's some of the information you need. And you can see overall, they're getting 99% of the list price, 96% here between the $2 and $5 million range. So, but some of them, are moving much quicker. Remember we talked about the 1 million to 2 million, 1.6 months, 6, 4, 10 months, going much faster. But again, these are classified as luxury homes too. So you can't just lump them all in. You do need to look at the individual price points. This is something we can click on and it brings it up very quickly for us. By zip code, we set these areas up like Brentwood, Franklin, where we have the 3 Franklin zip codes all put together. Fairview is separate. Nolensville is separate. So that's why it's so important for us. So a couple of things to do is one, attend broker open houses. Pricing in different areas. Look at Green Hills, Forest Hills, and Brentwood, Davidson County, and see what your differences are there. Get insights to the competition. Like, what are they doing in those areas? What are the trends? Are they more contemporary? Are they more basic? As far as, do they have more technologies involved with it? What also are the other agents offering as far as maybe staging? Is that something that the client's paying for, or is the agent working that into their price? Because that can be very expensive. Okay, and then who are they using? But also exploring with other agents to explore new listings or buyers. We actually sold a $2.3 million property early in the year that was off market because Jana, one of the agents on the team, had gone through the broker open house 2 months before. Well, it went off the market in December, and we ended up putting it under contract and closing it in January. But it wasn't on the MLS when that Texas buyer came up here. But because we knew of it, we were able to connect them because they were going to wait till spring. Another one is staying current with the market, and this is using your exclusive industry groups. Avoid outsider opinions because they really have a lack of understanding. And the biggest example I can point to this is a news agency on the commission lawsuits. Everybody thinks, well, pricing is going to go down 5 to 6%. There is no seller that is going to say, I think we need to reduce your estimate by 5 or 6%. Because of the commission lawsuits. They're going to say, no, it's this much and I don't want to pay X. So they really have a misconception of it. Or they're also saying things like, it's going to remove buyer agents and things of that nature. But again, avoid outsider opinions. Also build your referral network. And this is probably one of the most important because generally the trends on the West and East Coast actually roll up to the center of the United States. Is typically what happens. So if we see it slowing down on those 2 coasts, we'll generally see us slow down here locally. Now, that's not been the case in the last year because we've actually seen price going down in Boise and Austin, where here we saw 5% appreciation last year. And then for this year, they're anticipating Nashville to go up 5 to 7%. And they're still estimating that homes will be either flat or down a little bit compared to number of homes sold last year, which is about 4.3 million. So they're saying anywhere between 4.3 and 4.19 million this year. Wow. Okay. Also gather new ideas on marketing. One of the cool things about this is with all the AI stuff you've got going on now, you can really enhance the look of the homes. Also, what type of marketing you want to do. And you can go back to some of the other language of luxury and we talk about that. As far as websites that we build in, which are actually an extension of your website. So when they go to view the property page, you're actually on your web page. So they're seeing all the other stuff as far as your lenders, different things your team does, but also it's great videos. It could also be interactive where it's got different floors and you click on it. It brings up the floor plan for that floor. And also the amenities and the pictures for that floor. Then you click on the next floor plan or next floor level. And it does the same thing again. It brings up floor plan for that level.
And this is on what now? You lost me for a second, sorry.
Oh, these are on websites.
Oh, the KW website. Oh, thank you.
KW, it's on the websites that the agents are building. Like on ours, it's got a couple examples for, it. Like Nicole Gary, she had a 5-story townhome that was listed at $49 million. So Ribbity actually built this cool website.
Oh,
where you
okay.
go in and you go boom, and you just move your mouse and it page just transitioned without, that blank or open a new tab. So it was very seamless. Then you had Adam Dow's listing, which was more of almost like a lifestyle listing because he had a $14 million lake resort property. And it was showing like the garage for the boats. Also showed the 2 houses, the boat dock area, also inside with the different fireplaces and stuff. But it was just magnificent. It was more like a vacation tour of a home than anything else. Then you can also do lifestyle marketing. Lifestyle marketing is really cool because you actually have actors in it that are showing you what that home would feel like if you lived there. Like you get up and want to get coffee, you go out to this beautiful deck that has the forever pool. So you're able to enjoy it out there. Then you come back, in from home, you come into the garage, you park your Lamborghini, and then you go up the stairs and you got the different Keurig coffee maker on the refrigerator and stuff. So it's showing you all the different amenities that it has to offer, the elevators and stuff. So those are really kind of cool things, but there's a lot of different marketing ideas you can do now. Another one is the benefits of collaborating is sourcing buyers and future listings. You're also going to build rapport before entering a deal. This is so important when you're making a large deal work. If both agents are not on the same page as we need to make this deal work for our clients, rather than taking an approach of I need to get the best deal and screw you, then it's may not work. Because in this range right here, if both people are saying, I want to sell, I want to buy it, you work hard to make that deal work. And sometimes it's the give and take and just a lot of communication because the people want the deal to work. You're trying to get themselves out of the way to make that work. But if both agents are on the same page, it's tough. The other one is local insights too. And knowing what's happening in the different areas of town, new construction, what has to offer, what the pricing's doing, what the market's doing, what's the builder's outlay, because builders, especially if you're a local luxury builder, they're looking at, I don't want to overextend myself and build a lot of spec homes like I would have done 3 years ago. I need to build a home, get it under contract, have maybe one other one that's kind of a spec-ish type home, get it going, because I don't want to get it to where I have to roll it into a final mortgage. Because that starts impacting my debt to income ratio or my debt ratio, and that's going to impact me how well I can borrow from my bank more. Because they're going to be suspect about that. Because remember, regional banks that these builders are dealing with, their reserves went up as far as what the minimum reserves are. So they're having to say no to some of these luxury builders where before it was almost like a blank check. Yep, that's fine. Well, now they can't do that. They have to show the assets counteract the loans that they've approved. And the same kind of thing with commercial type loans too. Also networking with luxury agents across the country. One, it builds up a great referral network. It exposes you to new ideas on marketing. Because you're going to see some stuff over in the East Coast or in New York, New Jersey, which don't have buyer agent agreements. That could very well influence you how you're going to do it here. If you have a seller that's set upon, if they can't pay their own buyer's agent fee, then they can't afford my home. Well, that's another, say, just $2 million home, and let's just throw a number up there of, say, 3%, then that's $60,000 extra that buyer has to come up with to pay his buyer's agent. Well, if he doesn't have that cash, then that deal's gone. Well, is it worth the seller to, if you don't sell it within that time frame, would you discount it $100,000, which is only a 5% discount? Well, that's more than paying the buyer's agent, that 3%, if that's what it is, or 2%, whatever that number is going to be. So again, that's something that they need to make certain that the seller and the buyer are all working together to get the deal done. But if you don't have that exposure and looking at how can we do these new ideas in marketing to make it work, it's gonna impact you. But what are the trends in other areas? I mean, I've talked to some of my other agents, and some of them aren't offering that much in buyer's commission. They're just keeping it on the listing side. Because they're saying, well, this is what's normal. The other part too is monitoring stock market and financial items. Stock market allows people to sell stock and pay cash. Interest rates are big. Sometimes if they own their own business, if it's a commercial loan, those rates are only guaranteed for a few years, and then they go up to whatever the current rate is. And that's why we've seen buildings slow down so much here in Nashville. Well, they're tied to that through businesses that they own, and they've got to refinance the loan that they got. Maybe it was at a 2% interest rate, and now because the 5 years is up, now we got to refinance, and it's gonna be at a 5% interest rate. That's dramatic for people. So again, that's a big difference. Another one is return on investments for high net worth individuals, and they consider real estate an investment. Well, what is real estate expected to do in Nashville? If I put $2 million in, I'm expected to get 5% this year. What if I put $2 million in a stock market fund? Can I get more than 5%? And they're looking at it that way.
Yeah.
So again, knowing what those are doing, it makes a difference. Also, Bitcoin. What if someone's paid for the house with Bitcoin?
I've heard of that, but I've never dealt with a transaction with it, so, yeah.
And again, by networking with other agents, other
Yeah.
folks that have, especially out in California, that'd be a way you be ready for something like that. Or also, how negotiable is that, and how would that work? Are your title companies, are they versed in it too? Another one is trends in the stock market we talked about also. A couple things for the roadmap to implementation for this is one, review, sorry about that, is review MLS key stats weekly, okay? Set a goal for how many broker open houses you want to attend. Another one, this is big, preview new and existing properties. The new construction out at Keller, a lot of times you can go out there, they've got them open on Saturdays and Sundays. It's just going out there and walk through it and say, what are they getting for this money? Okay. Create networking groups for luxury agents. Join exclusive national groups. Review trade periodicals, especially digital reviews. And also magazines online that have the information. But remember, awareness in the luxury market is a constant endeavor. It has changed so much from what it has just 5 years ago. Because 5 years ago, you look at the appreciation we've seen. I mean, those $5 million properties were sometimes $3 million properties. It's a big difference. Huge difference in net worth and who your buyers are going to be and who's going to be attracted to that. And even if it's a 1.5, that home may have been 5 years ago, 800,000. We didn't even qualify for it. Questions?
Nope. I appreciate the area pro. I didn't even know that thing existed. I've just been doing it the hard way. I go into like the MLS and try to draw and type in certain search parameters. But
And what I'll do is I'm going to conclude the video here.